down.
I pooped my pants.
Yeah. So this is our first. We've got a bit of a Wayne's World angle here. My hair isn't that blue. I know blue hairs are a thing. But we are getting ready here to, normally I'm working here, putting together our newscast tonight for 7 Talents at 7 p.m. And literally like 30 minutes ago, Rick, the product manager for Rumble, announced this new feature of the actual Android and iOS release and asked, where are all my real IRL streamers at? So hopefully somebody lets Rick know that we are here. And we're going to go ahead and try this. This is part of, I'm putting this out to the lab. I'm trying to decide where we do this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set this here. But we're going to let this run the entirety of the time between now and maybe we'll leave it up for the whole. Do we cancel it right before we go live? That's probably good. Yeah.
Editing our live clip that you said you were going to do.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to, I like that even better.
Yeah, because what we just talked about, on top of getting a little behind the scenes of 7 Talents activity, doing shows, we tend to have a lot of playful conversation and banter in between that we've all enjoyed.
Mr. BPG, we don't have lower third, so I have to be the verbal version of that.
No, I'm a new person today.
Are you?
The whole shape.
He's a new person. He shaved off his beard, so his facial recognition software didn't recognize him, which is awesome. He knows how to hack the machine. But
hack the planet, baby. Hack the planet.
I'm gonna set this here for right now. And I am going to go I have a stand that'll hold this. I'm going to kind of position it around a little easier. I'll be right back. Over here. Live until 7:30 or 8. Oh, we should. That's awesome. We should do some music. But I don't know. I'm not really a music worker right now. No dead air, right? It's not loud.
You win again, Gravity.
Damn Gravity. He's the bane of my existence. Gravity. That might actually be food, not Gravity's fault.
Yeah, Gravity's.
I don't have any responsibility in what I look like whatsoever. So we'll go like this. A little better. I didn't mean to turn off my camera. Yeah. So you can test it. That should be live, B. Mr. BPG. So I have a viewer on Locals and a viewer on Rumble, it looks like. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and send this out and tag it. Rumble just dominating the news feed. Question, do you update Chrome before a show, yes or no?
Do I? We're on Chrome? I thought we're on Brave.
Or Brave. Do you update? Do you go for the update or do you say hell no?
It depends. If they want to update right before I go live,
no. It's always a no on like the 5 minute.
Yeah, but if it's within enough time, like right now, my editor wanted me to update on Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci's like, hey, you want to go ahead and update this?
No.
No, I'm good. Let's go ahead and finish what we're working on. We'll talk about updates later.
Right. Okay. Facebook Marketplace. I've been hunting for a new vehicle, minivan. See if I can get to my channel here. where it should be live. It says it's live, but I don't see it there. Oh, it's under the I did it under Video Lab 7, which is the appropriate place to do that. This is
Yes.
the test.
So that's where we're on. We're not on the main page, of course, because we can't have them cross streams.
Right.
Do
'Cause
not
that would be
cross the
bad.
streams. That would be bad.
Cats and dogs living together.
That's this man.
What do you mean bad? I'm kind of fuzzy on the whole good bad thing.
Right. Two sides of the same coin.
Oh. All right. Let's figure some stuff out. That would be bad. Do not cross the streams. I don't see it. It says it was live. It says I've been live for 6 minutes and 4 seconds. It says I'm live on Video Lab 7. Yeah, there it is. Let me grab the link. It's funny, it pops up and open on a popover, which is kind of cool. Let's get the share. Let's copy. Let's reply. How's it doing is the real question, right? Is it running? I'm not totally sure. And what happens when you do a screen share, right? So it says it's still live.
Okay.
I'm going to tweet this out because I don't know what to call it other than a tweet still. Post. Send now. All right. I posted it to Rick's Twitter account. Twitter. Bard is now Gemini.
The
Bard is
website. One of those things I don't know.
is another AI.
Read something on it. Yeah, I was telling you already. The AI that wants to do my interview no longer even allowed to interview with real humans. They just want to pass me off to the bots. After years ago, I warned people like, "Hey, they're coming for your jobs."
Right.
You in HR. Oh no, they just made it easier for HR. Sure they did. How many HR people did you have at that company before you went to this? Did my interview. No longer even open.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at us.
That lens is dirty as hell.
Is it?
Yeah.
You want a little wipey? I got one in my pocket.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, you got the microfiber. All right. Brace yourself. This is going to hurt a little. Close your mouth. Close your ears, Brian says. Is that better? Watch the difference. We went from this.
Ow. Oh, that was rough.
That is an improvement.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's always.
I don't know how many times.
Clean your lenses, people.
I
I think that's the rule that we're learning right now.
Well, I've always cleaned the lenses, but I always get caught up in production, like, oh, I should re-clean my lens. I don't know how many times I've been there where you're live, you've done a little bit of work, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, maybe I should double check that lens again.
Right.
That does happen pretty
often. Let's see. All right, since everybody's riding shotgun with us tonight, We have an hour and a half till we start the news, so an hour 20 minutes till we get in the seat and run it through.
I was gonna say, how do you want to do it? Do you want to keep me on my stream the way I am here, and you're at your desk? Do you like having that available, or do you prefer to be?
I don't know. What do you think? Since you're here,
I mean, since I'm here, I get picked up on the same mic, so I can keep my mic muted as far as I can see it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. Just where do you like to perform your bits from? Because I'm just gonna be pushing buttons more or less, and then chiming in when I feel or when you entice me to.
I want to get more comfortable here.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I have set up like the Stream Deck buttons properly yet for that role.
Sure.
Because I want to have like a little veto run. Yeah. Oh no, I need this camera, bam.
You want to have the ability to do that, which we did from there last time, because people watching in our behind the scenes, typically we're not even in the same city.
Right.
Sometimes in completely different states of mind as well.
So, states of being.
States of matter, we're pretty much the same there.
Yeah, solid. I'm not a gas. I am gassy.
I do have some gaseous issues. Yeah, that could be what do you call it? The food that we eat. Yeah, you could call it food. Can you believe Soylent Green is an actual product now?
Exactly.
They're like, man, there must be enough people who haven't heard of that movie, so we can go ahead and take that name.
I think it's time.
Time for what? To eat people? Time to put on that movie?
Yeah, we need to do our movie nights.
Well, I mean, everyone remembers the Soylent Greenest people, but they forget the whole idea of the what's his face, the old guy, basically accepting the fact that this is the way of the system, and he goes to the movie theater to watch nature's splendor on screen. Nature's splendor. Well, they must like inject him with a cocktail of goodbye and then dump him into a meat grinder. Was that one of the first like major blockbuster dystopian futures?
Which one? Soylent Green?
Yeah. Didn't that come out before Blade Runner and all of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what came out that was dystopian to that level. Because in that movie, the water, like global climate change.
Yeah, because you would classify that as a sci-fi.
It was sci-fi, but it was dystopian sci-fi, very specific genre within sci-fi.
Yeah, because I would say that a lot of people were inspired by what happened through the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
That was like some of the first, like, it wasn't every episode. It wasn't every little sketch or however they did it, right? It was because every single episode was vastly different from each other.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of them, like the guy who had the ability to stop time. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
This is my favorite Twilight Zone of all time.
It blows your mind because it talks about he finally gets to stop time. They did the fun one of The Simpsons where they referenced it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Is that popular of an episode?
It was. They Barton. It was a Halloween episode.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they kind of mentioned.
I think I saw a modernization of it. Now that I think about it, that wasn't Simpsons. It was live action, where the gal was able to stop time, and then she pulled a lot of the same stunts. But I think they took a different twist with it in the fact that, you know, he aged while everything else was stopped, and it caused great stress to his body as well during that. So they went that direction of he was shortening his own life in order to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The Twilight Zone one was they had a nuke or something like that, right? Because everything was all about the fucking nukes back then. Yeah. So we'll watch that. That's going to come back in vogue. Sting song echoing through my head. Have you seen Oppenheimer, by the way?
I did see Oppenheimer.
I did not see it.
I took my son to see it for his birthday on opening day.
Wow.
And I remember him saying, like, it wasn't a bad movie, but I just could barely stay awake because he had been up too late the night before. And
he was saying it's a bad movie.
Every time he's slipping in and out of consciousness, the movie would come in with the loud noises again to wake his ass up.
Loud noises, Brick Tamlin style.
It was definitely a Nolan film with the. It
doesn't show up. The live stream doesn't show up by default on Rumble here. Look at this. It's weird. So I'm on Video Lab 7 here, as you can see. And in the live tab, I do not see our current live stream filters. Is there a filter on? Duration, any upload date. No filter. All time, any, should be everything. And it's not in there, which is odd.
That's why we test it.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to X.
Check out the stream on that test site. On our
Well, I don't want to send this twice. Love it. And it's Android, so you can get it on your phone, bro. Yeah. In-app purchases for rants on Android should be released next week. So that's not this week's news, but it's a teaser.
Stay tuned for more, folks.
Yep, Samsung Smart TV will be available outside the U.S. Man, dude, talk about a Friday dump. You got to get us a little more time, bro. We got like 2 hours to get this shit figured out in the news.
What's the point? They do it on Friday to dump it there, so you have to avoid it.
We made it.
You're supposed to release it on Monday. Give it the program, kids.
Made a tweak clear where you stream. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I would love to get a full name list of all the names for the creators who are on the second round. I did want to report on that. I may have to put a note in there to mention that.
Okay.
I may not be part of the top 7, but I want to send a congratulations to all those who made the second round creators program.
Yeah, we talked. I think we mentioned it in one of the meetings.
We applied. We just don't have enough people. We don't have enough followers.
Like and subscribe, etc.
Hint, hint.
Hit the fucking button already. It's not hard. Don't cost you nothing. Just
Clickety click, right down there. I think it's somewhere about right there.
Clickety click. Don't be a brick.
Brick Tamlin.
Active human.
Brick Tamlin has been the topic of the day since last night.
Yeah. What? Wait, yeah, that came across my.
When we were playing.
There we are. There's some behind the scenes.
In the wilderness.
Was it you and I talking about Brick, or was it someone else?
It was you and I. We were watching.
That's why I remember it coming up fresh in my mind. Okay. That's why I remember it.
Okay, it's working.
Just not to Rumble.
Right. No, it's working. The link isn't in the playlist.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder if I could somehow highlight it. I'm afraid to like bump in on it in the back end because I don't want to dump it.
Yeah, but we're testing it. That's what we're going to do. If we dump it, then we know we broke it.
Right.
And we can report back on it.
And we are running this on YouTube, Rumble. I'm testing locals. I set up locals last night on Studio. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's just go ahead and plug it in so I can turn it on and off. Mm-hmm.
When you get a chance, if you can update the mural board, so we get that at least confirm that that's online.
Yeah, let me take a look.
And I'm also going to make a slight change. I'm going to put the number system to the right of the images.
That's fine.
Because your head always ends up in the same spot. And I kind of like the idea of your head, being in the blank space, the image being on the right space, and then our numbering system sort of off to the side where it's not easily seen.
Yeah, I guess it'd be kind of cool if we actually came up with a template for framing things up. Actually, you know what that would be, bro?
What's up?
Bro.
Is
when we have more time, when we give ourselves more time to plan this out, or we actually get this all down to a science.
Yeah.
We use frames, and then you can click that frame, and it would center it up exactly the way that you have that frame set. So it's always right where it should be based off of the template.
Well, yeah. Well, last week what I did is I just took an image once I finished the graphic board, because I didn't have the capability on my system yet to make my Miro board a separate page. So I took a screenshot of it, and then I just framed each shot up individually.
So yeah, here's where the frames is hidden down in the bottom left here.
Yeah.
So if I create a frame, see, the problem is the frame wants to be white. That kind of ruins my aesthetic.
You don't have the option of making adjustments to it?
Let me see. Styles. What is that?
That's the 7 Talents, color 7.
That's fucking annoying, is what that is. Set up brand style. Oh.
Ooh.
Well, maybe the frames gives us like black with no dots. Ooh. We're learning more stuff about Miro today. Right there. With accents and overflow and fonts.
Fonts?
Fonts!
More than 4, right?
Well, we end up using I think it's called Silic or something like that. So if I go into the 7 Talents folder in our brand folder, clients, 7 Talents, brand, there should be a font folder in here, or there should be a true type font sitting in here. Is it in design? Yeah, there it is. That's our font. Save font. So that's what the 7 Talents logo is done with. I am fell.
Just show this.
So let's do black as one of the colors. If it comes up. That did not work. 00, 00, 00. Color name black. Return. Okay, so we have a primary. Our yellow, I got a color picker up here. Donk. Pick color from web page right there. Add. We're going to paste that. I'm hearing something. Muting. This is why I was muted, because we had that feedback issue. You missed all the brilliance.
You missed my brilliant behind.
Wow. So Brian already clipped the video that I was going to add next, because he's on his A game.
Yeah, it was on his to-do list, but I felt I could jump in.
Dude, you rock. I'm going to take that hex code and paste that in right there. That's our gold. Let's add our white, right?
Yep.
Which is FFFFFF. Really fancy color, in case you didn't know. It's white. White. Awesome. So does that now I can choose?
You know what you could do is you could have that background across the entire segment of news that
I
way.
feel like I'm getting into the weeds too early before a show.
Well, I mean, we still have technically 90 minutes. Half the time we're still typing numbers right up to the show.
Fair.
Honestly, every show has gotten a little bit better each time we've gone with it, hasn't it?
It has. It has. So there's the frame. So if you figure out a frame,
Okay.
so if we did this with frames, we could say story 1, right?
Okay.
And you never have to change it. You just move the frames to wherever story 1 will be and get it in the right position where you want it. Because if I go here now into the frames and I hit present,
Well, then we should put you on camera.
story 1 comes right up.
Then we should start doing that with you and the mirror board on camera.
And then I could literally navigate here to story 2.
Get to that mirror board.
And that gives me like the ability to say, well, yeah, this is all wrong, and you all didn't do that right. I don't know why I did that. Undo that. That was terrible. Undo. The pin is really small. Does the chicken have large talons? By the way, if you're watching this behind the scenes, give us a little like, give us a little thumbs up. Go follow us on our other channels at 7talentscom. Brian at Mr_BPG, and me at Sashin. And we'll have many more coming, but let's get a follow train happening here. So,
do you have the colors set to a custom?
I do.
Is that G going to be on there, or is that's something we need to move off? Right?
Oh, I was just drawing just to see what tools were there. Dunk. So if you know, so if you have a screenshot, let me grab a screenshot just to grab it, right? Oh, look at you. You rock. So if I take this, right, as a template.
Yeah.
Close enough. Copy clipboard. Go to the producer's board. Paste it. If you want to know where things should be placed on the producers on the frame, send that to back, right? Is that where you're saying like you'd want it placed?
Essentially, yeah. Like it would be in that same idea because, well, I mean, look at it from your mural board instead. Remember?
By the way, this shit over my shoulder, my mom gave me a lot of shit over. She's like, "You have so much junk behind your shot over there."
Yeah, I could clear that out once we get this frame set up.
Yeah, it's not you. I'm just making a coffee mug that goes back up. Classic. But I can leave this off as a reference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if I make a new frame, was that story 6?
Yes.
So I would just make this story 6. That is an interesting option. Oh, you already started on one.
Yes.
Oh, well, fuck. We'll
That's what I was asking you is basically up to date. Like I said, my black is not the same as your black. Because I'm choosing from the main colors.
Yeah, there should be a custom one.
There's a styles here where it's like, okay, you have recent.
Oh, it might be based on users.
Oh, maybe.
Let me see. I'll open it up and check the colors situation. So I hit the theme here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a brand style.
Yeah, I don't have my brand style. But I can also right here, I can copy. What can I copy? I copy the style. And then I can just paste it into my next frame I make.
Sweet.
I'm gonna do that here.
So you can take story one and then sort it up, like change the order that they load in by just moving them on the left there too.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a next level piece here. This methodology will be repeated for many of you. We got 5 people watching us behind the scenes. Coming up with our.
Hello, everybody watching behind the scenes. Thanks for joining
I look like
us.
Rudolph here with the purple nose. Lighting does weird things when you do this orange and purple thing. So if you've not been here before, what we are doing, my partner and I, Brian, are putting together our weekly news show that we put on at 7 p.m. every Friday Central Time. That is kind of a roundup of what's happening with software as a service in general for the live streaming industry. So it's a lot to keep up with for us, and it is our industry, and we'd like to make sure that we position ourselves as experts in this arena. So this is what we do, and right now Brian is working on our incredible set of tools. He's running he's setting up the board here using an application called Miro that I am a fanatic of. I'm a bit of a power user when it comes to Miro. I've been using it for how long now? More than 10 years. Since, well, let's just say I was using it before it was called Miro. It was called Real-Time Board originally before they bought it or rebranded it or whatever. But Real-Time Board has come a long way. And it's such a useful tool in our everything planning that to find ways to integrate it to become the graphic element for video production, we think is going to just streamline us even that much further. And as we get good at this, hopefully others can start to follow suit or get help, get training, get assistance in running the show. Our motto in general, I think that we are coming to terms with is we don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's gonna resemble don't stream alone, because streaming in general, our opinion is like being in charge of an entire show by yourself, even if you're talented, it sucks. You want to have a partner, you want to have help, you want to have remote assistance, or at least assistance and advice and this assistance and training. So that's why we exist. That's what 7 Talents is about. We are a live streaming specialist. I'm not an Oompa Loompa, even though I am pink and purple based on the lighting here. That's so strange because it's such a blue light here in set. So Apple cameras, what do you know? So I'm gonna get back to putting the news together. I just want to make sure that it was reset in the room. Let everybody know. Please chat with us. We will interact with you. Chat with us on Rumble, on Facebook if you like. If you can't get in there, I think I'm also streaming on my personal Facebook page. Probably should be connected to the business Facebook page, but we have news on that too, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We do. We covered that.
Breaking news. We're literally
breaking
news as
I don't think that's a group. That's a page. I don't know if it's the same. Things change minute by minute here. Oh, notification. All right. Yeah, it is a little bad. I think when you're in office and you're working on shit, you have to have like themed fight music or something. So meta. Recent surprise announcement: Meta will soon be shutting down its Facebook Groups API. Some businesses, social media marketers are in disarray. Announced the release of Facebook Graph API 19.1. Yeah, the next thing to do is really figure out the prompter thing, just for bullet points, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a way we can get those both integrated, like it's off to the side of the frame. It'd be cool if you could like queue on one computer to pull up the frame in Miro, and then bring up the that segment of notes. So all you gotta do is just load all the right hoppers. Then you just go story 1, story 2, story 3, story 4, story 5. Will that take us another 5 episodes? We have that shit figured out before I get back. Shutdown of the API would cause problems for companies that offer solutions to customers who want to schedule and automate social media posts. Oh, that sucks. Pipe Cloud tools for scheduling social media posts. The API's closure will have a noticeable impact on his business. About 8% of his total revenue is on the chopping block. Holy crap. Bypass access to Facebook's API to publish public. Yeah, you build your house on the sand and it will get washed away. His whole business was based on having access to Google's API. And when they change that, your business goes away. Other customers of the group's API may rely on automations that are scheduled by business agency partners, some of which will be disproportionately impacted by the API's closure. So they're not getting rid of groups. They're just getting rid of the API.
Okay. Does that change the way we've put it in our wording?
Let me check. Meta. Cuts access. And can we do frames feature?
Where?
On number 2.
Do we want to change it to?
To new frames feature.
Ah, sure.
Meta cuts access to not third-party groups. It's Facebook cuts API. Yeah. Meta.
So Meta cuts API access or just API?
Meta. Cuts. Meta to cut access to Facebook groups, I think is the right way to put it.
Okay.
Meta.
Do you want to keep the API in there, or
no? We'll use the jargon in the actual reporting. Oh, SG is mentioning us.
go through? We might have to think of a more efficient way to do these highlighted texts, because at the moment I'm at now, I have to go through each one and make the changes. I have to make deletes.
Yeah, I'm still not settled with the system. I'm okay with the look. I'm not okay with the method.
The method is not what it could be, but that could be saving
Which is why, speaking of
our own
API,
personal,
this is why I want to get access to the API here, because I would like to develop this tool. You know what I mean? Where we just type it in and then choose an on-off state.
Or save it for.
Yeah, you never know. Never know.
Save it for that thing we're talking about.
That one thing someday. Yeah. Physical. I wonder if the word physical space is necessary in 4. Although I see what you're doing to balance it out.
We just put a live studio in DC if you wanted. It was just more about making sure it's real.
I like it. Leave it. It's fine. Captions available for shorts, reels, and StreamYard. Yep. Rumble update change. Oh, Studio. Super cool. Seems to be working pretty well. I don't think I can add the screen. I can do a flip camera. I can change the theme. Well, that's cool. I need to add a 7 Talents one then. Stream settings, theme, text. Invite. Share link. Might as well test that. Post couldn't be sent right now. Post couldn't be sent right now. Okay. Oh. Man, just a barrage of updates there. I mean, 7 hours ago. There's another one. There's like 10 things. I was like, it's a light week, Brian. Mm-hmm. In the past 7 hours, he's released more news for Rumble. Bless them. That's amazing. See, I don't know if this should be one.
What's this? Oh, this new story here?
That was 7 hours ago today. Maybe we just make 6 like Rumble updates. Okay. Like a generic catch-all.
Well, we have the coffee deal with Rumble, then we have EV Mox, then Meta. Rumble, physical space.
I'm just saying today's Rumble updates have been fucking crazy.
Well, should we just put Rumble updates? We could rephrase 6 or just add it as part of 6 frame. Because I don't know if you saw what I had to do with 4 on the mirror board.
Sorry, 4.2, 4.1. Yeah.
4.2. So you can basically scroll between the two. I'm still working on 4.1. It's just
that's the way to do it.
Broke. When I was working on it.
That's the way to do it.
Then I changed to something else. I went back to the mirror board to work on what we were just talking about.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the 4.1 will definitely be that door. That's an awesome shot. I actually have a shot of the studio empty, but I think the one down below works better.
Okay. 36.
You got the meta story.
I think we need 5 and 7. I think.
You put an EV Mux too, or is that just a need to be changed?
What do you mean?
I think we got the location changed externally. You have 2 on February 8th. Is that right? Or does 2 and 6 get swapped?
2 and 6 got swapped. We moved what was number 2 on February 7th to story 6 to be part of the whole Rumble update section that we talked about.
Cool.
So I'll make one for when I get to 6.
Sweet. I don't want to mess you up. I never want to mess you up.
Well, I still have to go back in and update the titles now that we have the titles too. So I'm kind of
I
jumping
want to run and hurt you.
access.
You cry, never gonna say goodbye.
Was it new frames feature? No, feature frames, right?
I would say
You said feature frames.
frames feature. It
You
is.
said frames feature?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is correct on agenda 1 and 2.
Yep. Never say goodbye.
Since everything is so worded so close together, I'm starting to make mistakes on my copy pastes. It's easy to get in there.
So here's an interesting question: do we need the black backdrop on the producer's board if this is the method moving forward?
Honestly, if we were to just go through and highlight and just highlight that one number as its own color, it would be one.
That was the reason I went with the black. But we can do it with frames using brand coloring.
Well, let me get on the same page as you. Are we talking about the typing of the text, which I'm doing now, or are you still on the framing up of the mural board?
The framing up the mirror. So in other words, navigation is all going to be here moving forward. So if I go into present on my end here.
Yeah, we go to story 1 and you're boom, you're there. And it has it there. And remember your mural face is going to be in the bottom corner.
Mm-hmm. So we can trim that up so none of that other shit's there. Everything's where it belongs.
Okay. But again, keep in mind, where's your face going to go in the story? So I think we'd have to load up your mural page.
No, it can't be done. Or could it?
And they say it can't be done.
Shush. I'm wondering about chroma key. Although that'd be kind of goofy, right?
For which part?
For frames. What if the frame background color was chroma keyed? You know what I'm saying? So then that element is just placed where it's supposed to float, and you can be anywhere. It'd be amazing if the frames came in via HTML, or if you could use the frame somehow directly from EV Mux inside of directly from Miro inside of EV Mux, like there was a Miro plugin. You could bring in your frames and it brought them as HTML, and you would basically transparent everything in the frame except for the objects in the frame.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
That doesn't sound impossible with code. I just don't know who it is. I think Miro would have to be the guys to develop it. To look at APIs there. We're gonna have to get a coder on. I mean, I know we're looking at other reasons for having coders, but like just for things like that. I mean, I'd be willing to even take a stab at it, I think. I'm not saying I'm even good at it.
Well, okay, let's go back one frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here I am on 5 with you, right?
Yep.
What if we change the style to have our own custom backdrop so that we're just dropping the custom backdrop frame, but it's not necessarily black. It's maybe more of our Seven Talents orange. Because again, go to your EV Mux.
And you just then you
load
chroma
Miro.
yourself over that.
Well, not
Because
necessarily.
you can chroma video, but you can't chroma graphics.
Yes, I know. What I'm saying though is that the way we have our Miro board set up, it's your bubble face overlaid on top of your Miro board. So what if we're just going to keep that Miro board? All we're doing is
we'll do this for the next one. I think we're going to go green screen.
Okay.
Because think about the remote possibilities of reporting the news too.
Well, throw me the Miro board on.
No, it's just my gears are turning at the wrong time. An hour before show.
I've been keeping up what you've been putting down. We've changed these lower third head or this agenda headline like 8 times so far.
Oh, that needs to be dynamic somehow, doesn't it?
It does.
Now you know what I'm thinking when I talk about newsroom.
I appreciate in the sense that every time we make any sort of change to this situation, we are sort of making it better.
Oh, every time.
So I guess
and don't get me wrong, we could easily make something worse.
I'm trying to get your mind around this idea. Is if you go into EV Mux, I still don't have your Miro board available as a drop. So
let me pull it. Let me pull it
with OBS. Yep. And then just keep playing with me while I talk this out with you.
Yep. Hold on. What I need to do is stop my presentation and bring that down here where it belongs.
Yeah, I kept trying to get into your presentation. I'm like, no, I need to edit. I can't just do it.
Send. Okay. Minimize that. Close that. Full screen. Share screen. Window. Producer's board. Share. So you have that now, Zona.
Give me a second. I need to finish what I'm working here.
Man, it's got me thinking, like, how do you do this with scenes so that, like, when you would click a button, it would pull up like a shortcut to fire that Miro board frame pull? Wouldn't that be the shit? Really have to get the API for EV Mux to make that happen.
Is it possible to turn off your UI or with Miro? It's possible to just have it as a
hold on. Let me do it. I'm not in the presentation mode.
So on that story.
Go to 1%.
Hold on. So story number 1.
And you're gonna play with it.
Yeah, you just brought me up to the idea. So I'm just trying to really quickly just see.
No, I was playing with ideas like that before.
If we did it like this, we go to Miro, go here, get our chroma key on. We're gonna select this color. Boom, bam. It just goes back to black.
But I think that's because the back of
it's whatever is the lowest layer, right?
Yeah.
So
now my video needs to be the lowest layer.
Not necessarily. If you want to keep your face in the bubble.
Is this a fresh layer or pro scene you're making?
No. This is just me messing with the main Miro board. I can duplicate and do a.
No. I'm sorry. Let's see.
I'm
going to create a fresh pro scene for testing. Okay, calling it test. CK test. Empty scene create. I'm adding myself to scene. I'm going to scale it up. Dump the lower. I would be here. Then you add that to scene. Scale that up. So it's not green big enough yet. style effect, click that, hit chroma, select my chroma. Yeah, I know, live stream. Thank you. Dismiss. Select chroma intensity. Ooh, it's kind of there. Hold on. As long as there's no green in the image, which is going to be bad. Maybe we need to do a blue chroma key with all the fucking Rumble news. We need to make our frame wider, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've only chopped it down based on there, but I mean, watch. Just give me a second. Now that we have that open, it's just boom, boom. See, done. Already stretched it.
Right, and what you would do is you would take this object here in the test, and you'd set it so that it exceeded and just place the element where it was supposed to go. Of course, I don't have my chroma set right. Way too intense.
I think I'm now on your page as well, where you don't want to have your head in a bubble. You
Right.
want to have we go from agenda to this shot with your face behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, where are we at now? My mirror board. Yeah. All we have to do is get rid of that GUI.
Well, all you gotta do is crop it out.
Oh, true.
That's all. I just move it up to where it's out of frame, and you get the same positioning. And what we should do is have like a red box that's like the safe zone. That all you gotta do is cover that red box, and you'd be able to. But yeah, if I'm in that frame, let me go to the frame. Go to present mode. Let's go to frame 1. So that's frame 1. Still has a little black along the bottom, but that's not anything I can't crop out. Right? So that'd be like that. But notice I've cropped out the green out of the Rumble logo.
Correct. So then we said, here, let me pull up blue.
Although blue with maybe we have to go old school fuchsia.
Instead of the cyan.
Cyan, whatever it is called.
Well, what color do we have? I mean, that blue might get rid of the.
But it's gonna bleed through on the hyperlinks.
How about this blue?
Go with the purple.
Well, hold on. There we go. Where would we go with this? Something like here. So it is a very rich blue.
There. Look at that.
Okay.
That's pretty slick. You gotta admit that's fucking slick.
What do you in the comments think? You see what we're doing?
Uh-huh.
Tell us what you think in the comments.
Although I tell you what, I'm worried that I stretched it.
Okay.
I had kind of squished it because it's free, totally free for free transform.
Mm-hmm.
If I move to 8, bam, there's the new graphic in the wrong color. But yeah, that's it. No, I'm just saying, it instantly cuts to that new graphic. God, that's great. Yeah, that's a big piece of innovation right there. What do you think?
I can dig it.
I think we just cracked how to use Miro for graphics for the news using frames. If you check our live stream, you can see how we're doing it. What, the purple? Right there. Chroma key. It's good stuff. We're an hour out. Still have 4 people watching on Rumble. Hello. Well, no, actually, I don't know if they're all on Rumble. Let's see what it says. Yeah, we have 3 people watching on Rumble. That's cool. 1 on Locals. Who is watching me on Locals? Let me know in the comments.
Stalker.
Stalkers. The feds.
I don't know how they found me, but they found me.
Right. So yeah, you want to make like a box that goes in the frame. It's really a smart play. Love it. And we can play with the zoom and even jack with it further.
Okay.
Which if I wanted to kind of position it, I can still get in there and kind of move it around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad, right? So as you can see, the rumble news. As it rumbles. See it rumbling? Cheap animation.
So now we want to cycle through all of these frames on the EV Mux mural board once we have them built to make sure it all locks. But yeah, essentially I'll just be moving these frames around after this.
SGA TV radio says you need to use your phone with an external mic. I do know this, but the iPad's got not horrible microphones on it, I hope. I'll watch it later and check it out, but
It's probably hard to hear me from behind sometimes.
yeah.
It wants to listen to me anyway.
Although I could get the Hollyland with the wireless on this for doing like quick little remote streams.
Okay, if I just put 6 instead of having 3 different stories, we squeeze it all into one? Are they enough different?
I took a risk. I took the app and I rotated it to portrait to see how it would fare. It seems to have done okay, Brian. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's pretty slick. Which is probably better for the back camera if you're like putting something together. Let me change the camera real quick. See, I'm a little distracted with your new tools. The flip camera should be right up top, though. That's for sure. So let us know in the chat on Rumble, not in the comments, but on the chat. Or on X, if you like, if we should continue to try and let this stream run while we're doing our live stream. Yeah?
Or, post your favorite Power Ranger in the comments.
Or your favorite Power Ranger, says Brian.
Or Ninja Turtle. That tells a lot about a person, which Ninja Turtle they like. Who do they...
Yeah, I never watched enough to know the personalities. Which tells you what type of person I am, is, again, in another level, right?
They're the basic archetypes, the 4 main muses, the 4 humors.
Really?
You know the archetypes of the 4 humors, right?
No, you're going to have to educate everybody.
It's the old Greek way of your body is filled with 4 fluids: red bile or blood, red bile, black bile, and I forget the 4th one, like ether, whatever. But each of them indicates 4 personality traits. One of them is impulsive and fast. One of them is playful and enjoyable. One of them is intellectual, and one of them is more of a straightforward leadership role. And they all form together to become the basic frame or the basic
Super Turtles.
Yeah. And so the Ninja Turtles each represented one of those 4 humors.
Dude,
and they were color coded by.
You're basically the guy that this is not a bad thing, by the way. That there's a whole set of people who came up about 10 years to my junior that I don't get at all, and they're all going to connect with you and not me. They're like, fucker knows what I'm talking about. I was not a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I was Tex Avery.
Yeah, we do have. You and I have just the smallest amount of age gap between us, in the sense that you've always been a bit older than me. But I was also the latchkey kid, where TV was my babysitter.
Your escape.
Yeah, well, that was just an escape. you know, they worked. It was back in the early days of media. They were working hard to catch our eyes and catch our minds before we had a chance to make up our own minds. But yeah, I've always been a fan of the story of the Ninja Turtles, and it brings me hope. That idea that a couple of nerds in their basement were capable of taking what they love in media and then making their own quote unquote version of it with the Turtles. Basically taking everything they love from like Daredevil and other Marvel comics and then co-opting it into their own space. And it's just that belief that, you know, you work hard enough. One day you probably get lucky when you stumble across the right news.
Right.
And you know enough about the way things are done that it actually, you know, attracts people and brings them into it. Okay.
Add the folder. So, in case you don't know, you can go to, and let me turn this around so I can see it again. Change the camera is what I need to do. But all of you can, doot and doot. All of you can follow us at, I think it's Rumble. Let me see if I can pull up a Video Lab 7 is what we're currently streaming on this channel, but where we're going to be live in 45 minutes. 45 minutes, Brian. Holy crap.
We've closed in on it.
Is 7 Talents. I think it's just 7 Talents on. We got our proper name on Rumble, thankfully. My channels. Yep, 7 Talents. Copy. Do a share via QR code. Let all of you see that. You can add that QR code right there and follow us in 45 minutes. Go watch us in 45 minutes as we go live here on 7 Talents, as we're prepping to do right now, as we do every Friday afternoon, prepping to bring just kind of a collection of everything that has happened in the week in the live streaming software as a service galaxy. Ooh, Galaxy. I like Galaxy.
All right.
So we're trying?
Stop it and represent. There you go.
I don't even have to. It's real time.
Oh.
We're wide on that
See,
one.
now we're losing a little bit of that Facebook. See how we're losing some of that messenger there?
I can just pop it there, but also I need to move this out. I can just scale it in. Look at that. Oh, you're talking about the blue.
Yes, but I mean, it's, and keep in mind, your head will be off to a different corner as well. That space
Is Chroma black better?
No, because then we lose the letters. We lose meta. You typically use blue for sky, green for background, and then depending on what else.
I'm thinking like, well, the fuchsia would be.
You could. You can go back in there. It's not a. I mean, if you want me to, I could do a real quick adjustment here.
Like one that's common here. Like, let's try.
So we're on the meta story, right?
Magenta.
Okay.
Are you thinking?
Give it a shot. Now let me go. I'll be on EV Mux.
Okay.
We pull our key in and pick the color to be magenta.
There's not a lot in the magenta. I mean, you're going to get a little bit in that Instagram there.
No,
right?
yeah, you were right in the first place. Yeah, we did lose Instagram, but just a little bit. But then, yeah, we cycle through. I think now you have over the shoulders.
Yeah. You just place them right where you want them. I can take this and drop that down a little further if I need, or bring that up a little further. Frame 2, frame 1. And yeah, I'm using the default magenta.
Okay. Yeah, I like the way that looks.
That's sexy, dude. 2, 3.
And I think we framed them up just enough that
4.
you can see them clearly, both numbered on each side. Up, we're losing a little there. No, we're not
A little bit
changing.
there. I'm not changing it for that one.
Yeah, we lose a little bit of that one, but we can cut down. Let's check the intensity of our key real quick.
Yeah.
And perhaps
You can scooch it down a little bit.
yeah, I can bring it from a 45. We can just bring it down.
That's supposed to be improved next week. Ooh,
That's
nice.
20. Well, let's like cycle back to the other ones to make sure we didn't lose anything. But
We'll
yeah,
probably
we
gain
saved
something
it.
on the Instagram.
Might have, yeah. There you go. We're back on Instagram. So our intensity is down to 20.
That looks good.
We're good.
Just place them. You can page through them and move them right to where they need to be. That's what I like.
Yeah, because I could also do that in the preview window while we have the agenda. Because I like working out of the preview window.
And you can have that one enlarged for you where mine is not. I kind of like that. That's awesome.
The way they overlay each other there, yeah. And I was asking you what you felt of the option of it being having all three of those Rumble stories in one.
I'm cool with that, man.
Because it would just be moving that third one over.
As long as I have bullet points, I have been losing my spot. That's why I'm kind of anxious to get the whole teleprompter thing figured out.
Yeah.
And it might even be what would be interesting. You see how I'm pulling this up like this?
Yeah.
On this screen here. We already know this is all cropped out up here. If we had a note area, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll end up building a template.
Sure. So I guess I'm saying is, see how we have story 6, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Would you want those layered into just a story 6, even though they're on different days? Or do you like having them separated that way?
Not totally sure right now. What's interesting about this is that I can bring it down so it just comes into frame, walk it out, and know that all of this is open.
Sure.
So if I end the frame, I can walk this down towards out, right?
Yeah.
So this is fair game. So let me stop on frame 8, right?
Yeah.
Pop this to white. This is show note 1. This is 2, and so on. You know what I mean? Just don't forget to mention that. Mention that. You know, this doesn't have to be a teleprompter, but if I have it in there at the right size, we determine the right, you know, size of the square. Now, when I go back into the frame and I pull up frame 8, which is here, it needs to be updated. Present. Let that close. It's right where it needs to. Nope. Am I on 8? See what I mean?
Yeah.
You got room for messaging and notes all the way around it. Because if I size this right now, let me exit frames. I want to go to a full frame and let it track in right where it's going to track. I wonder how you force it to update the thumbnail. Thumbnail's old. This is fascinating. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have. Why is it in the? Why does it not show up there?
Because it's in presentation mode and it's outside of the frame.
No, it's in the frame still.
Is it? No. The frame is everything in magenta.
So
So if you do that, it's going to be there. So the idea being is that if you're in presentation mode, it's only going to present what's within that frame. So everything else kind of goes offline.
right.
That's why I was trying to get these frames, sort of that just that right size.
Or we get it trimmed up so that the notes section is part of the frame. It's exactly the right format. So you have the 16:9 square in the frame is the notes.
Well, then the note would then be the bottom. It'd be a lower third headline because we already have the agenda to the right. So essentially, we would have to create a lower third headline to go in there, which essentially we could do in two.
Oh my God, you could put it on lower thirds, couldn't you?
Yeah, because you already have your name there. It's like I said, we could design a lower third here that we just create this template and overlay it in, but then it's going to overlay over the Christian Sass, which is on screen now. So we'd have to make adjustments to our.
Yeah, no, we just make a layer.
Yeah.
Heck, you can make it a motion graphic layer. In the last cow, we did motion graphics behind the lower third. We're like, because it's a custom graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I love that.
So where do we want to make it? Do we want it inside of the EV Mux, or do we want to?
Well,
or is it too much for this week? We've already
I
got
think
our over the shoulder.
Yeah, we got a half hour, dude. No, we opened up a whole new can of worms on how to combine these two beasts.
This is where I was going. Is that I want to take this out and bring it over here to 6.2. So we have all of our 6 stories in one place.
See, this is my point. See, that can be in frame, but cropped out.
Oh, of your EV Mux,
right.
EV Mux, yeah. Okay.
So we have an area for notes. Or we could even have it so that like there's a whole note section here, and what's cropped in is just this tight little. Yeah, we've got more things to figure out between now and next Friday. God, am I here next Friday? Yeah. Am I?
And then what do we do after that? Am I hosting news going forward, or
isn't that a question?
Fridays after this.
Isn't that an interesting question?
It really is.
Or do we pre-record? I mean, I'm going to be busy during some of those times, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And the way that they drop news on Friday. You know what? I bet you we could find someone in the community who would be interested in possibly stepping up if you wanted to produce with them. If there's one of you out there that wants to be reporting the news while I'm traveling, hit me up, DM me. We'd be willing to audition that.
All right, so let's go back to our mural. Our mural board is up. Let's present that as you have it, right?
Okay.
Start at story.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted with the technicals.
Okay, so now back to EV Mux. Frame yourself up. There's story 1.
Yep.
Now we go to presentation to story 2. Wait, actually, hold on.
You see if you can do it?
I might be able to because it keeps inviting me to your presentation. Now
I think it's to follow.
Hold on, let me see if it gives me an option. Undo, comment, pen, sticky note, select, raise your hand, like, fire, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I think it's just participantship. I have to navigate it.
Are you okay navigating it, or do you want me to
I'm
present
okay.
it from here?
I'm totally okay loading it up. But I know exactly what's coming then.
Very good. Okay, so there's loaded number 1. Staying in EV Mux, let's load to story number 2, chapter next. Make sure it's the right one.
I can do a handoff. Oh, handoff.
Oh, I'm presenting now.
Ooh.
Story number 2.
Oh.
I can sit here and just like give it a quick framing, and then bam, we're live on story number 2. So here we are with the agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agenda's number 1.
Which that moving things around and framing
Uh-huh.
would be bad if you're changing font size and position. That has to be nailed.
Yeah.
It's got to be we have to work on a hard template that is guaranteed perfect.
We create one template, copy and paste it. We just created.
We just proved the proof of concept.
Yeah, we went hard on that one. So anyways, we're here on agenda number 2. You're going agenda number 2, blah, blah, blah. You start talking about it. And then when you're ready to go with it, I just go bam, and it cuts right to that. Now we're on agenda number 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this down.
Do we have a clips demonstrating the frame, or do we give a crap about that?
A clips? Wait.
I'll just describe it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, do you want a better thumbnail? Yeah, I can do that.
I'm wondering if I pull that. Yeah, maybe.
That's the thing is, I just did generic thumbnails as I was going through. That was probably the worst one I've done. So
this is great. If we can figure out the agenda thing like this. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm actually even thinking? That we don't even do the agenda in EV Mux. It's all Miro overlay.
Do we go back? Like, how do we go back to the agenda then, or do we not?
We just make.
I like having the agenda as the in between
storyboard. Bum 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 bum.
So we have a calendar going forward. We mark off the dates.
So you just duplicate the entire show, right? Put your shit in where it goes.
Yeah.
And they're streamlined.
Yeah.
I mean, how long are you going to keep the old one anyway, really? A month?
Well, essentially what you would say is we would archive the old footage and files.
Yeah. I'm just saying, this Miro board could get really unwieldy real quick. But the wonderful thing about this methodology is if I jump in here and I grab a nice fat white marker, I can like draw more chin hair on myself and
you could actually
angry eyebrows. Yeah,
you could play the football commentator highlighting the highlights there. We are going to have our first for our show video B-roll drop in between stories 2 and 3.
Which notice where the menu comes in on the left. That's why I'm saying I will go through and like have to think through these scenarios and build in like this demarcation. Maybe it's not even a magenta color. Maybe it's just an image that we make and lay down as a graphical backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, if we just had a full magenta backdrop and we started placing our images in, that doesn't work with the idea of frames. The idea of frames is that we just go story to story. Like I'm here presenting, and now I can say, okay, well, you're done with that story. I cut back to the agenda, right? And then I switch over to this one. I go back while you're talking about the agenda to reposition this so that it's just.
Yeah, and I don't want to make it worse for you. I got to make something. Is there a way I can like, or that's what, if we're in different cities, right? Is it wrestling control back? Is that a problem? Preferences? Maybe we hide cursors. No, they're already hidden.
Okay. Get rid of those markers.
Return to Brian, so I can do a takeover and hand off.
Yeah, at any point, if you wanted to move it around, or even because again, right now we're presenting this screen with a chroma key on. If you'd want to load up another clip that you just find in one online, you would probably want to have a separate user for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right. So I'm going to do from here, you think? Oh, you already cleaned up the corner. Damn, dude. The man, the myth, the legend. All right. We are half an hour, 15 minutes ish away from starting up, and my chair just snapped. So make sure to join us. I'm going to probably put on the move this mic back here. Okay. Audio test. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Looks good. Checking 1 2 3. You want headsets?
No, I just have to route the settings to my cans. I forgot to do that.
That's totally cool. Yeah, those physical Sonys right here. Swag.
My skull candy.
I love those headphones. I may, when we talk about this, I'm going to set this right here while I'm doing the news. Okay. If it dumps, it dumps. If it doesn't, then I'm going to leave it up. And when we talk about it, I'm going to drag this off from all seeing into the shot and say, we've been streaming this whole thing right here. Did we check our destinations on Rumble?
Yes, but it's worth looking again.
I'm gonna go into the Go Live. I'm gonna check our. See if I set up a new stream. I don't think it stops that one, right? But we're gonna find out. Here we go. All of your streaming slots are being used. Ooh, look at that. That's the first time I've ever seen that. All of your streaming slots are being used. Please contact bd@rumble.com to increase the number of streaming slots you can use at the same time. So by default, it looks like everybody gets one streaming slot. So I would think that you should get a streaming slot per channel you run.
Yeah, because we can't do what we're trying to do. Show the behind the scenes while we're doing it unless we switch to
I know I can stream to multiple YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, can I do that per user account? I haven't tested it there either yet. I know I've been able to do multiple YouTube or Facebook pages, Facebook profiles. I mean, that's kind of like part of the strategy for growing audience on Facebook is as many groups as you can get shared out, and then you make that shareable for other people to post on their pages. So it's just stream once to stream many. Hey Rick, if you're watching, can we get another slot? Let's find out. If in 20 minutes we can get an extra slot allocated. If not, I'm gonna have to take, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to have to get assistants to split Sastion and Seven Talents into 2 accounts without losing history and everything. So I'm doing them all from the same one user account and not on separate logins. So I may have just learned the hardest lesson personally.
You mean, what if I go, if I'm logged in under my user and I go live from here, is that different? Because you got Mr. BPG on EV Mux on this one. If I were to hit go live, would it go to our pages and not interfere with your user?
Can you stream to a page you don't own? I don't think you can.
Well, what I mean though is all these pages are loaded up through EV Mux, right?
Yeah, no, it would, because it's logging in as me credentialed.
Oh, okay. So it still ends up being under your user here. says everything's ready to go live, unless you change the stream key or our server.
Nah, I'm gonna have to kill this one to go live on 7 Talents.
Okay.
Which is stinky, but we know what to ask for.
And you could just switch that live stream. We cut it off with 5 minutes to go, switch it to record, and it becomes more content.
Funny part is I can paste that. Oh, sorry.
Oops. Oops.
Watch.
Derp.
Grab, copy to clipboard, paste. I can drag this in if I want when I bring it up. As you can see here. All your base art belong to us. Which I'll pull that just out of frame. And let's see if I can get right back to frame 8. Yeah, when you hit it from here, it auto centers back to where you would have it. So the template makes a ton of sense.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And the template allows us to do what we've done with the agenda, which is make a box in a box. So that it...
I mean, it makes sense to have, if we could get an app to do the agenda with the lower thirds inside of UVMux, to be able to run a transition or a stinger graphic between, that would improve production value.
Yeah, because right now we have to go back to the agenda, or you're going to watch the screen swipe across.
Right.
Which, at least for our show, we're ready to go. If you keep talking, I can hit the buttons and we can get to it.
Yeah, I'm going to need to kill. Sorry, guys. I will need to kill this stream. Make sure right now, go on over to our either on X or on Rumble, preferably on Rumble, because I'm going to have to stop it right now in order to get the proper Rumble credentials so that chat works. Because if you do one of the things that we've learned is that if you use the static URLs, the forwarder URL that Rumble gives you to go to your stream, it does not get the HTML based static URL necessary for chat to work and interact with that. So I'm going to go fix that. I'm going to close this one right now so that I can do that. Thank you for watching this test. We'll be back on more IRLs later.